I thank the grace of Heavenly Mother, compassion of Maitreya Buddha, Jigong Buddha, virtue of Patriarch, Sijun and Simu, and also Grandmaster, Senior Master Li, and Junior Master Li for allowing me to have this opportunity to host this session. And I welcome your attendance here. Thank you. Today we are going to talk about a topic that basically everybody is involved in: conflict in marriage and no friendship. I think this applies to everybody. Even though if you are not married, here I put in all friendship. We do have some friends or even partner that we deal with in our life. Lao Tzu give us very good insight. Although the chapter is very short, but the message is just profound, and I love chapter 34. So let's begin with chapter 34. So I would like to ask somebody to read this chapter 34. William, can you help us to read it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Chapter 34. Great Tao may flow to the left and to the right. All beings rely on it for life, yet it doesn't define anyone. It accomplishes its task without claiming a name. It loves and nurtures all beings, yet makes no claim to be the master. Constantly without desires, it may be named the small. All beings will return to it, yet no one knows who the master is. So it may be named the great. Thus the sages never regard themselves as great. Therefore, they achieve their greatness.
Thank you, William, for reading this paragraph. Now I'm going to read Chinese for you. 大道泛兮，其可左右；万物是以生而不辞，功成不名有，爱养万物而不为主。常无欲，可名为小；万物归焉而不知足，可名为大。以圣人终不为大，故能成其大。So this is the Chinese reading was 34. Now let's begin on 34. So the first line is great Tao may flow to the left and to the right. So when Lao Tzu talk about flow, the first thing that comes to our mind is water. Water can flow, right? And Lao Tzu used this word specifically. Let me see, get my pen. Okay. So when the water flow, Lao Tzu is not talking about a pot of water in a lake. Lao Tzu is talking about, again, not a water in a lake. It's the water movement from upstream to downstream. So it's flowing, right? And and this word means it's wide, it's abundance, it's huge. And it also can mean the wave of trend. So sometimes when like in our society, there's some kind of trend that we follow. However, we don't want to lose our characteristic. So sometimes we will go along a trend. So this is how we understand this. And it also means that it's omnipresent. This word means omnipresent. And so this word has three meanings. That's why I put it in a bullet form. It means it's there, it's vaguely there, and it's not there. So it's similar to fog. So in the morning, if on a foggy day, you can see somebody clearly, but you don't know if that person is really there. So another keyword that I want to mention to you is left and right. So Tao, it's so big. It's called a great. It's huge. So there's no left and right. Do you understand this? So if it's something small, we can say, I'm going to fight with you. Oh, I'm right, you are wrong. So there's left and right. But then if it's so big, left and right, it doesn't matter. So left, right, there's like some kind of boundary, right? Like a flip of coin. But this concept of Tao, it has no boundary. It's so big. It really have no difference whether it's left or right, whether it's front and back, it's high and low. It's everything is the same. So here we are talking about harmony and equality. So imagine there's a water coming from upstream to downstream. And then there's a rock in the middle of the river. So does it matter whether the water go to the right or to the left? It doesn't matter, right? So this is how Lao Tzu defined Tao. It really doesn't matter. However, sometimes it matters for us. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? I have to do this. I have to do that. So Lao Tzu say, no, let's take it back. There's no right and left because eventually we are just going downstream. So this is a key point that I want to point out to you for this first line. So Tao exists in the universe as well as in the human and animal being. That's why it's great. Lao Tzu like to use the word great. In Chinese, it's called Da. So why is Tao great? Tao is great because we are everything comes from Tao, and in our life, whatever we experience, we are all following the flow of Tao. Who can go against the great Tao? We cannot. You say, I want to go against it. That's impossible. Let me give you an example. The great Tao is about how a human is born, and then the person will become a baby. There's a baby born, and the baby will become strong, and that baby later on will become teenager, and then later on become adult, and then this adult later on the physical body will decline, and then this person will eventually die. So here we are talking about the cycle of life. Who can go against the cycle of life? This is called Tao. So in Tao, there's a law. There's a law of a human. Everybody have to follow this law. We are constantly aging. Who can go against this law? No one. So there's a rhythm behind it. There's a system behind it. And you say, what kind of system? Just look at yourself. We all have a childhood before, right? And let's look at our mom. We witness our mom from the time that we understand about life. From me that I understand about life, I can look at from my album. I can see my mom in her 30, and then I see my mom in her 40, in her 50, by looking in the album, because we don't really remember. But by looking in the album, we can see our mom aging until our mom is sent to nursing home, until our mom is on the wheelchair, until our mom passed. So this is a program that we are going through. And who designed this program? This is a program, right? We are all in this program together. So one thing we can think about is the computer program. The gaming program. It has the beginning and the end. So you can finish the game probably in about 10 minutes. I'm talking about my son. My son still loves to play computer game. But we are in this program too. Our program is 70 years old. Some people's life is more short, 80 years old, 100 years old. And some ended up in nursing home, some ended up in some ended up dying in an accident, and some are okay. So some die peacefully. So we are all in this program. So what's interesting about this program is that the main structure is set. So imagine there's a tree. So there's a tree, the trunk is there, and the trunk is already on this ground. It's set. So, but you can bend the branch. You can decide how many leaves you want to grow. But you cannot make your apple tree to grow orange. So This is the main structure. So whatever life we have, the program is already set. The program is you are in this family. You are in this cultural. You speak this language. This is your native language, your ethnicity. I'm Taiwanese and she's Japanese and he's Hispanic. Maybe he's from Honduras. Everything is set. But this is only in the main structure. But there's still a lot of things that we can decide. And this is called the free will. So how do we practice in our marriage conflict? Lao Tzu wants us to learn from water, being able to adapt, being able to maneuver around the rock. A lot of time we got stuck with our own right way. When is the last time you confront with somebody, I'm right, you are wrong? Or you are right, I'm wrong, but I have my ego, therefore I don't want to say I'm wrong. So I try to bend my bend my whatever saying to make it more reasonable. So sometimes compromise is the solution. And sometimes we just have to shift our position to the other person's position. It doesn't matter because whatever it is, we are just going downstream. So it really doesn't matter whether we go to the right or go to the left. Uh, so we were talking about the program, right? So this program covered the whole universe, the whole universe. So this program, you can see there's a lot of if. I mean, maybe none of us are programmer. I'm not programmer, but I did some study on the programming when I was in school, so I understand this. So in our life, there's a lot of possibility. And don't be afraid to make decision. Because if you make decision, whether it's decision A or B or C, it will eventually correct itself. So all this situation, there's all a possibility. It's already laid out. It's already included. So imagine there's a maze that you are in. You go this way, it doesn't work, then you turn back, you go the other way. And the other way doesn't work, you go another way. And that's that's how we are lost in the maze, right? But eventually we will find our way out. So it really doesn't matter which way we choose in life. Next line. All beings rely on it for life, yet it does not decline anyone. So here, decline means rejection or denial. Sometimes we are in a state of denial. This cannot happen to me. How can this happen to me? Why this happen to me? How can God let this thing happen to me? It's not supposed to happen. But Lao Tzu said, just accept it because like when you say everything is included, even you are stuck in your life. This is part of the program. And the purpose of the program is for you to get stuck. And when you get stuck, you're supposed to find a solution. That's how our wisdom come on. If you never get stuck in your life, how can you have wisdom? Okay, so Tao is supportive, it's non-judgmental. Non-judgmental meaning that it allows you to go left and right. And it provide us. It doesn't matter. Sometimes we say we make mistake. I make a huge mistake. But Lao Tzu still continue provide us the way to go. Lao Tzu never say that, oh, you made a mistake. I will no longer provide you the sun. I will no longer provide you air. I will no longer provide you water. I will end your life. No, Tao will never do that. Tao allow you to explore your wisdom and your idea. And all this are given to you without resistance. So in marriage, Tao represent love. respect, share value, and commitment. So I want you to think about Tao is like an umbrella for the partnership, for the friendship, and for the marriage. So we do relate this umbrella so that both of us can stay inside this umbrella. So it's important to maintain this umbrella, because if this umbrella is broken, then you also hurt yourself too. And you say, why is that? We do need another person in our life. Let me give you an example. Nobody is perfect, right? So we all come here for learning lesson, and we do need the other person to polish us. So imagine you are the porcupine, and we all have a lot of porcupine. We have a lot of thorn on our body. So if you have a lot of porcupine, I mean you have a lot of thorn on your body. And Buddha, on the other hand, is well-rounded. Buddha does not have thorns. We have a lot of thorn. So how can we polish ourselves? We can only polish ourselves through another person. So the other person can polish us. That's why we are here to learn our lessons. So everybody, our partner, our friendship, our marriage spouse, they are our partner to polish our thorn. So how do we approach this line with our marriage or our partnership? It's practice selfless and non-demanding approach. When conflict arises, our natural inclination is often resist, defend, and blaming. So in practice, we need to practice acceptance. I think resistance is our human nature, or I should say it's our nature from our false self or our ego. Our ego like to reject. So here's a difference between our true self and the false self. Our true self love to embrace. Our true self it's like God will embrace everyone. But our false self like to have its own identity. I am who I am. I have my ego. I have my identity. And I am myself. It's so big. It's the opposite of selfless. So our ego love to grow big. So that's why there is decline. So when I decline you, it make myself look better because I'm on the upper hand. It looks like I'm on the upper hand, but definitely it's not. So next one is offer support without constantly declining. So next time when we are in conflict, try not to use this word. Try not to reject, try not to deny, try not to decline, but offer some kind of support. Because when you offer support, you shift from the I consciousness to you consciousness. You shift from the false self-consciousness to the true self-consciousness. You shift from the ego consciousness to love consciousness. So this is the best way to shift your consciousness. And this is important. In our last session, we talked about shifting from false self to true self. It's very important because when we do this kind of shifting, we are more close to Buddha. We are more close to Tao. We are more aligned to God. We are more aligned to Buddha. And we all want to reach Buddhahood, right? We all want to go up, right? So shifting this consciousness allow us to move up. Okay, so much like water that flows around the obstacle, less resistance, and more willingness to understand. So when the situation comes, I like to ask you, you have, it's like you have this remote control. So there's only two channels to watch. There's a channel of love and the channel of rejection. Which channel do you choose? I can assure you, Tao choose the channel of love. Buddha choose the channel of love. Angel only choose the channel of love. In fact, their remote control only have one channel, but we have two channels because we are constantly debating, do I choose this one or do I choose that one? This one and that one. So even though from now on, after this lesson, we still have two to choose from, I like to make you aware, hey, besides whatever channel you have, there's another channel called love. Choose the channel called love. It accomplished its task without claiming a name. So here, Lao Tzu talk about accomplish some task. What kind of task are we talking about? We are talking about the task that we finish and we call it success. So what kind of test have you complete? For, for the common people, it's about I finish a degree, I graduate from a university. I finally bought a house I used to rent. I bought a car that I dream of. I won a competition. Maybe you are uh, Olympic, huh? Olympic candidate, and your goal is to win some kind of medal, and you did it. You won a medal, or maybe you entered law school to finish you that you always want to be a lawyer or want to be a doctor or to reach certain status. So success for most people is this, but for the sage and for the saint is different. It for them success and accomplishment, it's about how many people's life have they touched, how many people's life have they transformed, and how many people have they saved. So we call it the salvation. So you see such a huge difference. So this is the success or accomplishment that sage have in their mind. So when they accomplish this task, they save so many people in their life, but they don't want to be known. They don't want to be acknowledged. So think about they spend so much time teaching the people. They devote their whole life helping people, teaching people, share their wisdom, touch people's life, but they don't want that kind of acknowledgement. And this is what allow them to be free. So I want you to look at this two bullet here. So let's look at this one. Imagine you finish something and you want to claim it. That make you really tired. So imagine you are on the career ladder and then you move from the supervisor level to the manager level and you feel so proud and because everybody look up on you because you just move up, right? And you want this title and you own this title, and in order to keep this title, that will make you tired because there's certain responsibility to come with it. So maybe this is not a really good example. What about this? So say you have a lot of money, but nowadays putting the money in a bank it's not safe. Like talking about the people in China, they put the money in a bank. Now they cannot withdraw the money because the government has a limitation. You cannot withdraw so much. So you can only withdraw a little bit. So you have money and you are worried. So you want to keep it in your home. So Every day you have to stay in your home because you want to safeguard your money. And then you say, okay, I cannot safeguard my money, so I'm going to put it underground or buy a safe. But sometimes buying a safe is not enough. You want to buy double safe to make it safe. So that make you tired. And also, girl, especially girl, we like to claim our own beauty. We like to maintain our youth. And sometimes it makes us feel tired too. Sometimes women are tired of dyeing the hair because our culture have this kind of trend. When you reach a certain age, you supposed to look young. Because if you don't look young, then you look less attractive. At least this is my husband's perspective. So so I'm telling you that I have to dye my hair. So this make me tired. But some woman, they don't really care. So if you don't care, if you don't claim your youth, you are not tired. So this is Tao. Tao does not want to claim things. If you want to claim it, that make you tired. So talking about marriage, if everywhere you go and you say, this is my husband, and you are worried about somebody grab your husband or your spouse, that make you really tired. And that will, because when you feel tired, you will show the controlling aspect of it, and you will show domination. And at the same time, you show anxiety. And do you think that your partner will not feel that? Your partner will feel that. And that will eventually, that will ruin the relationship. So let's say I try to control my husband. Don't you talk to Miyuki because I think maybe Miyuki and you have something. So this is a conflict. So if in order to resolve the conflict, um, I I want to lose that control. I don't want to. Either way, it's fine. If you want to talk to Miyuki, it's okay. Whether you want to talk to her, it really doesn't matter. So you don't want to make yourself look big. You want to let your spouse to have that freedom. So the goal of the solution is to have harmony, but not about winning the argument. Because when you win the argument, it seems like you are superior. Um, so yeah, so when we won, it looks like we are right. But in reality, we lose that bondage on the bond between the friendship, the partnership, and the marriage. It loves and nurtures all things, all beings, yet it makes no claim to be the master. Here, the master is talking about the, the, the owner, the creator. When is the last time we say that, oh, this thing it's done because of me? But Lao Tzu say, well, if you if you accomplish something, don't claim it. Give the credit to God. Because without Tao nurturing you, without Tao love you, without the people around you, how can you accomplish it? Just very example, without air, how can you do it? Right? So Tao enable life and vitality. Tao provide all things in the cosmos endlessly, provide ultimate life force. So Tao, all the things that I mentioned to you, the air, the water, the sun, Tao provide to the poor people and the rich people. Tao provide to the murderer, the criminal, the rapist, as well as the Tao practitioner like us. So Tao has no differentiation, right? Has no judgment. Tao allow things to grow. So the sage learned this. If we think that we are the sage to be, if we think that we are the Buddha to be, we need to learn like Tao. I'm sure in our life, we all encounter somebody make some kind of mistake. Forgive them because we know a sage will forgive them. Jesus will forgive them. Tao will forgive them. So how do we put that in practice in marriage? We want to resist the urge to dominate, control, or impose your will on your partners and friends. Um, True love nurturing in relationship involve balancing and equality. So here is the problem. A lot of time we will say, wow, I'm giving you so much. I give so much, but I don't see return to me. So here we have to balance ourselves. So next time I want to ask you, next time before you give it to your partner, you make sure you have your own water. Because if you say your partner has an empty water cup and yours is half water, you only pour some to your partners because you want to make sure you also have some water left too. You don't want to pour everything onto the other person's water cup. And I like to speak Peter for as a great example. Peter was taking care of mom for many years. So when Peter poured so much love and nurturing onto mom, and Peter is a good son. So when you pour so much to mom and you leave nothing for yourself, what happened to you? Your energy is drained. You feel drained. You feel helpless. You feel hopeless. And you feel depressed. And you feel suicidal. So this is what happened when you pour everything to the other people. So I like to ask you, before you pour everything to other people, you need to look at yourself. Do you have some left? You need to make sure you have some left. And if you know that my cup have nothing left, then what do? You have to get more water. And where do you get more water from? Where do you get more water from, Peter? From Tao. Great. And Miyuki, where do you get the water from? Not sure? Uh, Yeah. So we get it from Tao. So Tao is a very vague idea. So let me just give you some concrete example. We have to get that energy from the universe. So coming to the temple is a good way. Going to the church is a good way. If you are Catholic, Hindu believer, go to the Krishna temple. If you don't go to temple, if you are atheist, it's okay. You go out, go to the beach, just listen to the wave of the sound of wave. You can replenish your water in a cup. Maybe do some meditation. It will help you to clear your mind. Maybe just do something that you love. Maybe you love to sing. Maybe you love to draw. Maybe you love to watch a movie that you always want to do. And Peter, you told me that last week you say you want to go to the beach. Maybe you want to go to maybe every day you drive by a coffee shop, you see people drink coffee and you say, wow, these people, they have so much luxury of time. I don't have time. So maybe you find some time to sit in that coffee shop and just enjoy that sip of coffee by yourself so that your water can be replenished. Maybe you haven't traveled for a long time. You go on for travel and maybe you don't have that much luxury for go on travel. Just do a morning walk or evening walk and maybe do a yoga. And you say, I don't know how to do yoga. Okay, watch YouTube. So there's a lot of things that you can fill your cup of water. Uh, Maybe it's a friend that you feel that you want to talk to. You call a friend. Maybe it's as simple as making your own sandwich, making your food. So sometimes we make the food and we say, wow, okay, I don't have food in the fridge. You go to the grocery shop and then you buy the food and you buy the cucumber, broccoli, tofu, and then whatever, and you come back to make some kind of sandwich, fried rice, and you see, wow, this is a great food. After you finish the cooking, and you say, wow, this is a task that you accomplish. It's a small task, but you did it. You feel happy. So when you enjoy that sandwich, you feel happy. And when you feel better, then you go take care of your mom. Yeah. You don't want to take care of your mom when you are hungry, when you are starving, because that will manifest your energy. So, so in a healthy relationship, doesn't matter which relationship, make sure you have your water cup filled. There are, for me, sometimes I feel my cup is low, and sometimes there are times that people call me, my friend call me, and I look at my phone. I say, okay, I don't want to pick up the call because I'm low. If I'm low, how can I talk? I will just spread that low energy to my friend, and that's not good. So when you are low, try not to pick up a call. And when you realize that your energy level it's a bit higher, then you return a call. And maybe that's a day after. Maybe that's after a sip of coffee. Maybe that's after a sandwich that you made. And maybe that's a week later. It's okay. Constantly without desire. It may be nameless small. I love this slide because when you look at, let me see, this is very funny. I'll tell you the funny part. What is small? I want to give you an example. Small. What is small? What is small to you? Maybe it's something that's, for example, this purse here. This is small because I can buy it from Walmart, maybe $3 or $2. But maybe in Amazon, $2. In China, maybe 50 cents. So this is small. Or something is free, it's small. So for us, small is something that does not cost money, such as air, water, river, beach. Uh, I can say that in India, water is very small because they have abundance of water. Water, it's a very small part of their bill. It's very small. Uh, I can share with you that in China, there's so much pollution, right? And the wealthy people, they want their children to grow healthy. They buy Canada air. Can. Do you know that? They buy air from Canada. They buy air from Montana. If you search online, there's air for sale. And imagine that air, it's just like this big. It's sort of like the size of our hairspray. So how and then they inhale. Imagine how many can you buy? It's very expensive. This air can I think is 20 minutes costs like $25. And it cannot last for the whole day. So for them that is big. But for us, breathing air is free, so it's small. So for those and to me, I want to share with my experience. Before before my mom have a stroke, my mom have stroke 2 years ago. I used to think that my mom is small because she's just right there. She's healthy and she's just right there. If I need her, I just call her. If I want to visit her, I just go visit her. She's just readily accessible until she got a stroke. And I realized, wow, life is limited. And all of a sudden, she become big. Wow, I only have one mom. Imagine my mom die. I will have so much regret. So I start to take care of my mom. And then I think before that, I already know Peter. So all of a sudden, my mom become big. So it was very precious for me. So imagine what is small for you. And also sometimes our friendship are small until this person pass away and it become big. So so I want to explain to you the concept of small and big. So we think Tao is very small because it's already there. It's already in us. Everything Tao provided for us, that's small. It's not a big deal, right? Because we know how to grow. I mean, it's not us. Tao control our how much we grow. Tao control our how much we grow. Like look at our eyebrow. Our eyebrow grow in a very slow speed, smaller than a more slower speed than our hair. So Tao seems very small, but um, we cannot resist it because it's just part of the program. So we have to learn from Tao. Um, so Tao is there. So we have to learn from Tao. If if whenever there's a conflict comes, we want to think of that conflict as small. Imagine our partner is gone tomorrow. Would you still have this conflict with your partner? Um, if you think that your partner is going to be gone tomorrow, everything becomes so small, and you would cherish every moment with your partner today. So whatever is small become big. Whatever big becomes small. So your argument with this partner, well, it was so huge. Now you make it small. But your relationship with your partner, it's it's supposed to be a lifelong, but now it's only one day left. You want to make it big. You want to make it significant. So in that case, we want to approach our conflict with open mind, and there's no conflict at all because all the conflict becomes small, and small become minimal, and minimal become nothing. And so that will be your genuine solution. I want to give you another example. So if there's a kid in front of you, you say, "Hey, this is smell this fresh air." So the kids might not think it's a big deal. But if you give kids the ice cream, the kids will be happy. But in fact, which one is more important? The air is more important. Ice cream we can do without, right? All beings will return to it, yet no one knows who the master is. So Tao creates everything. As you can see, this picture here, create everything. All the animal, all the human being. Eventually, we will return to Tao. But Tao does not want to claim its name. So whenever there's a conflict, like I say, we want to imagine this Tao as an umbrella, and this umbrella it's where you and your partner live. So imagine this marriage is a sacred entity that friendship or marriage it's so important because that person play a very important role for because that person is there to polish your thorn. A friend that you meet in coffee shop cannot polish your throne because that person does not live with you. That person does not have a close contact with you. And that person, if you don't answer the call, that person will be gone for your life. But that person is most likely the person that you are living with. Maybe it's your son. Maybe it's your son-in-law. Maybe it's your daughter-in-law. Maybe it's your mother or father. So that person, it's important for you because you need somebody to polish your throne. Okay, so very important. We want to step back from our individual ego and control and prioritize the well-being of the umbrella, the relationship, and make our ego small. And if you can nourish that relationship, that means you are aligning with Tao. Okay, so I love this picture. So imagine this person is a sage, and this person make himself so small. And that's at least what other people see. We don't see this, but we see, wow, this person is a small person. Thus, the sages never regard themselves as great. Therefore, they achieve their greatness. So the greatness is not achieved through one's superiority, but rather through less of ego. So, um, so the idea is not think less of yourself, because when we say less of ourselves, we think it's not worth it. In other words, it's not less of ourselves, but think of yourself less. Think of yourself less and think of other more. But at the same time, we need to maintain our water level. That's how I keep my balance. So I can imagine those of you who have mom to take care, it's very difficult to keep the balance. And Peter um, went through suffering because it was very difficult to keep in balance. But now everything is done and you pass the test, you pass the trial. So now you enter another life of your chapter. So you understand personally how keeping that balance is very important. We need a balance of mind, body, and soul. So if our soul is not healthy, everything will crash. So keeping our soul healthy is very important. Again, uh, do something that you love. Create something. Maybe it's something that you have passionate about. Maybe adopt a cat or a dog. That's great. Maybe you go to the zoo. I would say the most important fundamental idea of keeping yourself in balance is to align yourself with nature. Therefore, hiking is good, jogging is good, walking is good. Maybe just sit under the sun is good. Watching the rain is good. I have friends, he just love raining. He like to listen to the sound of rain. Wow. And sometimes going to concert is good. But if you don't, I don't like, well, I don't like to go to concert because I first have to find a parking and say a lot of people. But I like to listen to that orchestra music. Wow, it really touched my heart. So if you are like me, don't like to go to concert and you are home by yourself, I usually wait until everybody's gone. My kids go to school, my husband is out. I I listen to YouTube and then turn on my music and wow, that's beautiful. And that music touched my heart. So sometimes we just feel great. So listen to some holy music will be good too. Okay. So a lot of time we think that we are big. We are big because we have this big ego. So ego is our biggest obstacle. Why? Because our ego wants to claim the possession, want to claim the supremacy, want to claim I'm right, and want to be superior. So this kind of ego fuels the conflict. So we want to resist the urge of be right. And so we don't want to be superior. We want to be, I don't want to say inferior. I want to say equality. We want to reach to the state of harmony. So this greatness is not about individual victory. Our true self, our false self is about individual victory. Our ego is about individual victory. But our true self, it's about embracing other people. It's about harmony. It's about achieving the marriage in a harmony level. So, like I said, if you want to benefit in a relationship, always choose the channel of love. And that's the channel of Tao or the channel of God. Okay. So we come to the last slide, and this is the summary of chapter 34. Chapter 34 offers the powerful blueprint for managing conflict by encouraging flexibility and adaptability. Just like water, it can flow to the right and to the left because after you pass the rock, they merge. So it really doesn't matter. Selfless and contribution, because when you do this, when you encourage yourself to be selfless, you let go of your ego, and um, it's part of the training program that encourage yourself to align with Tao. Number three, non-dominance. Because when you put yourself in your true self is all about harmony. So when you are about harmony, of course, there's no dominance, right? And then absence of ego. We talk about it, there's no reason to be right and left, right? Because when you say you are right, you destroy the other person. And then there's the conflict. And when there's a conflict, there's a gap. And today you are right, tomorrow you are right, and the day after tomorrow you are right. What happened to the gap? The gap will widen. Eventually it become a trench. And then it become a valley. And then later on it will be like, oh, I'm calling you from this mountain and you are on the other mountain. So it become, it's called a lot of time people cannot communicate well. It's because there's a huge valley in between. Valley, Lao Tzu in Tao Te Ching like to use the concept of valley because valley is where the water goes through. So we don't want to have a valley in the relationship. Okay, so number five, focus on the great team. So I want you to imagine you are a sage to be, you are a saint to be, and you are there to maintain that great team. Maybe it's a great family, great family. So prioritize harmony, not your individual victory. With that, we can transform conflict from destructive battles into opportunities for growth. So what kind of growth are we talking about? Every time when we polish our thorns, that's our growth because we will be one more step towards to well-rounded personality. I remember when I just graduated from university, um, the what is that? The people, the recruiter from the company, they like to hear people who has well-rounded personality. I did not know what it means. I don't understand what is well-rounded. I thought well-rounded is like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, yes, yes. But well-rounded is now I understand what is well-rounded. It's not to poke other people because if you are not well-rounded, you can easily poke somebody even you are not aware. Like expressing your ego, not being flexible. I say, I don't want to do it, denial, rejection, dominance, those are not well-rounded. Now I understand. And deeper understanding and stronger bond with our marriage and friendship. So we have concluded our session for chapter 34, and I like to say special thanks to our PPT editors, Robert M. Jenko, and so with Robert's help, we are able
Sorry.
to do
Yeah.
this session here
Yeah.
because
Yes.
my translation has been revised and revised and revised by him, and we work on it together. We are a great team. And
Thank you.
Robert is the author for Tao Te Ching and Intuitive Interpretation. And I'd like to say thank you, Robert. Thank you very much. And I also thank you for your attendance here. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. If mistakes were made or said during today's sharing, I ask the forgiveness from the Heavenly Mother, Buddha Maitreya, Jigong Buddha, Patriarch, Sijun Simu, Great Master, Senior Master Li, and Junior Master Li, whom allow me to have this opportunity to host this session. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment. Thank you.